Hey all, and welcome back to Fuzzy Dutchy Gaming and the first episode of the Necromancer EarthQuake thing that we rolled from our Wheel of Fortune. So I've just got through the campaign, done a couple of maps. So I thought I'd run through the character, how I've leveled it, what my plan is in terms of taking down Shaper. So it's probably only going to be one more episode because I'm into maps, and then I plan to just level to maybe like 85, 86 and then try and take Shaper on. So I've decided, since EarthQuake is a skill that you can go unencumbered with, or you don't have to have a weapon, then it makes sense to go Hollow Palm. So that's what I've done. It's a pretty straightforward tree, just beelining straight from the witch area to a cluster jewel. We'll probably fell out another cluster jewel here. When you are unencumbered, you count as dual wielding, so I'll take the dual wield nodes here. Not sure what the cluster setup here is going to be yet. It's probably going to be physical damage for the main one, and then maybe some aura ones. Probably fit in some medium clusters as well once you get the points. So I'm still only level 65. In terms of money, I've spent a fair bit, but with this challenge, I rolled a 10x budget, so there's plenty to play with. So I basically spent 1x on Twink gear to Hollow Palm level, which would be these two rings here. I bought a Tabula Rasa, I bought an Ascendancy, and then I bought a Darkness Enthroned with a couple of Dex jewels, and then a Gold Rim helmet. And then this jewel here, Careful Planning, which turns all the other like int and stuff into dexterity, just to give me more dex for Hollow Palm. In terms of once I left maps, I did spend some money. I bought a large cluster jewel, which has got some dexterity added to the small passives, and then it's got force. So we'll go through the ones actually. So overwhelm fizz damage and increased fizz damage, chance to deal double damage and increased fizz, and then Ellie res plus fizz damage. Hollow Palm slots in there, and then I've gone for enduring composure to get some endurance charges because I'm very unlikely to be able to get spell suppress capped or spell block capped. So we need to get as many defenses in the build as we can. I've taken these nodes here because I need them for the accuracy, but I think I can respec these if I get accuracy on one item because they're sort of a waste. And that's really it. And it was super smooth, obviously. Hollow Palm leveling is always nice and easy. Early maps are a breeze as well, and bosses go down like instantly. So overall, I think we've got like 7 and a bit X to spend. I don't think I'll need to spend it all to get Shaper down. So what my plan is for gear, at the moment I'm running a Fractal Thoughts because you get 15% dexterity if strength is higher than int. It just worked out a bit better than some of the... It's not ideal, but it gives me a decent chunk of damage. Ascendancy, I've just got quick step allocated at the moment. That was just to get through the campaign zones a bit quicker. We'll obviously redo that to something else. The rings will be going, and I'll be getting some rings with dexterity, accuracy, life, and maybe some fizz damage to attacks. Actually, no, we really want percent damage. Flat damage is not really much good because we've got so much already from Hollow Palm. Chest piece I've just bought, I think it was 12 chaos. I bought an uncorrupted 6-link astral plate and just rolled a couple of cheap, so shrieking essences of greed on it. This isn't amazing, but it does the job for now. Boots I haven't done yet because I'm going to come on to my plan for the boots in a moment. And then I spent 1x on an 18% increased dex base, and then I spent about 25 chaos in dex essences and rolling something until I got some life and some resistances. So that's fine. Didn't realize when I bought it, it's also incubating a 6-link armor, which is nice, so I'll get a bit of money back. Flasks at the moment, which might stay till the end, are Sulfur, Jade, and Granite, with Bleeding Life Flask and Quicksilver. I haven't looked at rolling the flask yet, so I'll need to do that at some point. So what's my plan for the build? So at the moment, I've only done 2 Ascendancies. I've done this one here to get increased attack speed, increased damage, and Ellie res. It helps a lot. And then gone for this one, which is if you've consumed a corpse recently, we have 30% increased AoE, which you don't consume yet because I'm not running any offerings at the moment, which is the issue with Hollow Palm. I mean, I have got some spare jewel sockets, but I don't know what I want to do with them yet. Take away your main skill, you get 8 jewel sockets, so you have to be really careful about what skills you use. And then the next one's going to be increased attack and cast speed for each corpse consumed up to 200%. And if I spawn corpses, then enemies near them corpses are chilled and shocked. Now, corpses, really, you can only spawn them from Desecrate. I'm not going to be able to do any sort of auto cast, so one of those will have to be Desecrate. So then that leaves you 1 spare jewel socket, which could be an offering, because this could be Uberlab if I even decide to do Uberlab, so I'm not sure I'm going to need it. So the reason I've not done lab yet is because I need a specific pair of boots to get the build working really well in maps, which is bubonic trail. So if we have a look at these boots here, so they either come with 1 or 2 abyss jewels. I realistically probably have to go for 1 because I don't have the spare jewel sockets. The reason I'm doing it is triggers level 20 death walk when equipped. Essentially what this does is when you walk over a corpse, it explodes and that counts as consuming a corpse. So that's going to proc all of the juicy benefits from my Ascendancy. So for example, when I'm mapping in fairly juiced maps, I'm getting 2% attack speed for every corpse consumed recently, which is like, well, it does say recently, so within 4 seconds. If the maps are fairly juiced, we're going to at least consume, say, 20 to 25 corpses in 4 seconds. So that's a massive chunk of attack speed. And then along with this as well, we get increased AoE because we'll have consumed a corpse. So it's not the best way of doing it, but for like a build that I want to get done fairly quickly, that was the easiest way I could think of doing it. So as I said, at the moment, we're just on early maps. So I'll do a quick map showcase to show you how it's working, but I'll just run through the jewels, gems, before we do it. So I'm running Grace, that's going to be swapped to Determination. And then Flame Dash, just as a movement skill. Then I've got Vulnerability, which I'm hoping to swap for a Vulnerability on Hit Ring to free up another jewel socket. Herald of Purity I'm not using, so this can be dropped. Purity of Elements I am using for res requirements and also not getting ailments on you works really well. Blood and Sand I am using because I can obviously get more AoE and more area damage. And then for the 6th link, at the moment it's Vile EarthQuake, Pulverize, Melee Fizz, Maim, Less Duration, which you have to run on EarthQuake, otherwise it feels awful, and Brutality. What I'm probably going to do, because I've got 10x budget to do this, is once I decide on my 6 gems, I'll just buy 20 gems. I don't really need to go through the hassle of mapping loads to level the gems up when I could buy all these gems because they're not particularly meta gems. Pretty sure I could get them all fairly cheap. That's really it. So what I want to do is push into a second cluster. Down here, finish this wheel, drop this, get some accuracy, get some mediums in here when I get the skill points, and then see where I am in terms of damage. I think it's going to be about 2 mil. I say DPS for Earthquakes, it's probably going to be 1 mil per aftershock, which should be plenty to get Shaper down. My issue is going to be defenses because I'm not going to be able to get suppress capped or spell block capped very easily. So I have to be really careful on that fight because everything he does is going to hurt, essentially. So what I'll do is just run a quick map showcase and explain kind of what I'm doing as I'm going along. So it's just a tier 3 because I can't really go any higher because I'm going to brick the XP gain if I go too high. So we'll stick some audio back on fairly low. I was running War Cries, but again, I don't think I'm going to have the sockets to be able to do it if I'm going to run Hollow Palm. So for the moment, it's just, yeah, go as we are. Okay. But Vile EarthQuake is very nice for mapping. It makes it super easy. You just hit Vile EarthQuake and then you run around and essentially everything dies. It does feel nice. And it will also help on bosses. So yeah, I'll just show, and I mean, I don't like this as a skill, I'll be honest. I don't like delayed damage and I don't like slams. Like, even when slams are meta, I did not like playing them at all. But in this challenge, I don't have a choice. It's what I've rolled, so I've got to play it. And then I need to get some speed in the build, but my boots at the moment, I don't want to go buy new boots because I'm going to be replacing them fairly soon with bubonic trails once we get the level requirements sorted out. So again, we'll just go in, get to the boss, we'll kill the boss, and then we'll wrap the video up. It's been a fairly easy challenge, to be fair. As soon as I realised you could do EarthQuake unencumbered, it was easily the best option. So as you see, the damage is fine for level 13 gems. Once we get it up, get some more gear into the build, get some more fizz damage, I'm confident it'll be able to do Shaper on not much more investment, maybe 1 or 2x. But I don't know. This was like a tier 3 map. So there's obviously a big difference between the Moon Temple boss and Shaper. So we'll just go back to Hideout. And then that's really it for this video. People just wanted a quick update because I think it might take me a couple of days to get Shaper down because I've got things to do. I'm not going to be on the game that much. So I just wanted to bring out an update to show where the character is at and kind of where I want to go with the character. It might not work what I want to do, And if it doesn't, then I might have to look at another way to build it. Like, I think you could equally go, if you wanted to, forget Hollow Palm, go like big fat two-hander weapon and just go cluster jewels. So you could go cluster up here, and then take life everywhere else. And I think that would work as well. You could even take loads of minion damage and then you take spiritual aid. So there's that option. You could also try and go bleed. You could go convert to ele damage. There's loads of different ways you could build this, but Hollow Palm is easily the most straightforward, but easily the most squishy. I think even when we get to level 85 or 90, we're realistically going to have 5k life, good fizz mitigation, but not much else. We're going to have very little evasion and we're going to have very little suppression or spell block. So we're going to have to see how it goes. That's it for this very quick update though. As always, thanks a lot for watching. Take care and see you in the next one.